Hi everyone and welcome back to part 3 of my dentistry application series. So in this video, I'll be telling you about my interview. So if you're from Singapore and you're applying through IUMC, all the seniors will tell you that the interview is the worst. It's the hardest part of the application and you just have to prepare yourself and brace yourself before you go in for an interview. My interview was not too bad. I think the interviewer was in a pretty good mood that day and I was also very lucky. I'm not going to mention the interviewer's name, but if you ask around you can find out. I can't really remember the questions that I was asked, so I had to go through my old WhatsApp messages. I didn't even use Telegram last time, I used WhatsApp to see what I sent my friends. Like, because I was complaining about how I think I did so badly in the interview after my interview. And these are some of the questions that I found, but they are definitely not all the questions he asked me. So the first question that I found was what they ask you in all the interviews. Why do you want to do dentistry? And how to answer this question is not to search on Google. Like, really don't look at the Google answers, because when they question you back about the Google answers, then you'll be stuck. You don't know what to say because the answers are not even yours. What I answered was that I have an interest in teeth. And that is actually a very good answer, because how can someone question you on your interest? When you say you have an interest, it's very hard for the interviewer to be like, why? It's just because I have an interest. Like, how do I explain it? I can't really remember what I said. I suddenly remember what I said in my interview. So I said that teeth really interest me and I can't explain my interest. It's just so intriguing to me. That's a very good answer, because then they can't ask you why you're interested. And I also said that teeth gives you confidence that no other part of your body can give you. Because if you have a perfect body but you don't have perfect teeth and you're insecure about your smile, then you forever feel self-conscious whenever you're talking to someone, and you can't truly express how you feel or be yourself around people because you're forever scared of opening your mouth or scared of people looking at your teeth. And this is so true, because imagine you have perfect teeth but you're insecure about your body. Like, it works the same way, right? Except that now you have a perfect body but you're scared to smile. Yeah, so that was what I said for all my interviews whenever they asked me, why do you want to do dentistry? Nighttime revelations. You cannot say things like, I like rebuilding things. I like doing things with my hands that create a nice result. Because then they'll be like, then why don't you want to be a doctor? Why don't you want to be a builder? You can't give them the room to ask you these kind of questions, because the moment they ask you these kind of questions, it's over for you. Actually, if you can find a good answer to those questions, then maybe you can wow them, but I honestly don't know what to say, and I'll rather not have them ask me those questions and throw me off guard. So I just make my answer very dentistry centered and leave no room for any other profession at all. Another question he asked me was, what are the 5 qualities of a good dentist? And I honestly cannot remember what the answer was, but I know that compassion is one of them and professionalism is one of them. I couldn't get professionalism. That's why I remember him telling me professionalism at the end. I'm so sorry I cannot remember the other 3. Ethical? Was ethical one of them? I can't remember, but 5 qualities of a dentist. Okay, just prepare 20, and like when he asks you, just say all 20. I'm sure 5 of them will be right. And he also asked me, your grades are very average. How are you going to survive in dentistry since dentistry is such a competitive course? I don't know what I said to that. That's actually a very good question. How am I surviving now? I just study my ass off. That's the answer. If I'm not smart enough, then I make up for it by studying every single waking hour. No, I'm just kidding. I don't study all the time and I'm still surviving, so don't worry about that. Just show that like you're willing to try. Tell him that if I'm not enough, I will practice so hard or study so hard that I become enough. And I'm confident that I can do that. And this interview is meant to throw you off, because he wants to see how you react in tricky situations or like situations that make you uncomfortable, because you'll be faced with a lot of those kind of situations. Like, look at me in the lab when I fail my competence. I'm like, but you just have to bounce back and get yourself back on track. Oh, because I interned at a dental clinic for 7 months after I graduated from junior college, he told me that I should have volunteered, and I told him that yeah, I did volunteer in junior college, but he was like, no, that's a different setting. Like, you should have volunteered while you were working to see what the difference between a private dental clinic was compared to volunteering in the public sector. And I was like, oh, that makes sense, because the patients you see at the private dental clinic are definitely a whole different breed from those that you see in the public sector. Those are all the questions I can remember. The interview felt like it lasted for very long, but I think mine was just 25 minutes. And then after that, he called my dad in to talk to him, to ask him like, do you think your daughter will make a good dentist? And he asked my dad if he had enough money to pay for my school fees. Yeah, okay. Part 4. See you in part 4.